Yeah, so Silas here. The kids are done with school. As you can see, they're leaving. They're heading back home. But yeah, I just had this thought. I was just thinking about this thing with LeBron James. LeBron James of the Cleveland Cavaliers, the best basketball player in the league right now, in the world, probably of all time. I mean, the whole thing when they compare people like LeBron James to somebody like Michael Jordan and they say, oh, who's better one on one or something like that. The kind of things like I think LeBron James is better. And why is LeBron James better? LeBron James is better because Michael Jordan came before. Michael Jordan was a trailblazer. He was breaking out new things. He was learning new ways to do things. But he didn't have somebody like Michael Jordan to look up to. He didn't have somebody like Michael Jordan to say, like, I'm going to be better than that person who's just the greatest of all time. So his bar, his aiming point wasn't as high. And he didn't have someone to learn from what to do, what not to do. And LeBron had that. And Michael Jordan changed the game most definitely. And through those changes, it's resulted in people like LeBron. So back to this. LeBron James said something about people that voted for, in Ohio, that voted for Donald J. Trump. And he said something towards the way that they was not educated. That's the actual words he said. They was not educated in politics and they made these wrong decisions. He said something like, oh, I do things with my kids too. Like I decide things like I give my daughter Skittles and I think I've given her too much. So that kind of idea where he says that, and I think this is a positive thing. The reaction to people, there's a lot of people making fun of the words that he used, saying, oh, he was not educated, or talking about how, oh, this guy who didn't even graduate high school, I mean, he graduated high school and got drafted to the league and made millions. He's made millions and millions. He's very successful in his field. And now people are like, oh, you're going to tell us about not being educated. But what is the purpose of being educated? The purpose of being educated is to make a living, right? And he's able to make a living. So he's educated in something that he needs to be educated in. Now, what he's talking about the people not being educated, I think that's true. I think most of us can agree that people are misinformed by the information. When it comes to voting, people are voting on things they don't really understand. That's something we can agree. So even if he's saying it in that way, even if part of what he's saying is more that he thinks he came out in support of Hillary Clinton, the candidate that lost. So he may be thinking, yes, you should have supported her. If you were educated, right, you do that. But regardless if his intention, him pointing that out is true, people aren't as politically educated as I think as they should be to make an educated vote. That's what happens. Another thing is that he's making fun of people's vote because he disagrees with the result of that vote. And that's a similar thing we're also doing. A lot of people are making fun of his attitude, the way he spoke, they're making fun of him not going to education. I mean, going through college, going through the regular or typical forms of getting educated and talking that way, and ignoring the fact that the results is still making millions of dollars. So he's also making fun of people's vote when the result is still making America great again, if you think that or if you believe that. And I don't really see too much against that at the moment right now. So another thing with this thing. Different things happen for the same reason here. That one thing by LeBron James, again, thanks to LeBron James for doing this. He puts this out, and then now people remember again, this is the guy we're supposed to be listening to. This is the guy that's so amazing. Earlier in the week or last week, they had things with Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry, who's on the Golden State Warriors, and they had an amazing finals matchup against the Cavaliers, but they ended up winning. So this is the thing, LeBron James, best player in the league by bar none. Some people say Kevin Durant is 1.A, but he's definitely better than Stephen Curry would say that. But Stephen Curry, is this Stephen Curry? Stephen Curry? I don't know, I might be saying it wrong. Anyway, so he's definitely one of the top players in the league. But just showing that LeBron James, one-on-one, is better than any single one of us at basketball. He is the best person at playing basketball in the world. But when he says something like this, it reminds you that he might be the best at that, but doesn't mean he's better at anything else in the world over you guys listening to this, over the people talking about that. It shows that, yes, he might agree with Stephen Curry on this whole Trump is not a positive thing. Definitely Kevin Durant's also not on board with that. A lot of professional players are not on board with that. And he agrees with them. And that goes against what a lot of the fans and a lot of the people who are not in sports actually think. Yes, Donald Trump is positive. You making fun of him, you taking down a knee, you saying all these things about how Trump is horrible, how Trump is a garbage human being, that speaks to them. And then that makes the people now think, why are we holding these people, why are we holding these athletes up on a pedestal? Like, we can still have a situation where we enjoy everything they do on the basketball field as competitors in that sense. But don't transfer that over and start saying, like, yeah, these people are also like us. These are someone we're going to look up to in a certain way. I mean, and the same thing, like, I think it's a good reminder. I think it's a good reminder. I think it's a good way to show people again, to remind people that this is also that same guy who was son of Cleveland. He's back in Cleveland again, but he had that 1 hour special where it was all about him. Then he left, and he didn't have the self-awareness to realize how negatively people would take that. And then people who took that negatively, they had that in there. And then when he came back and won championships again, they forgave him all of that. So all that negative feelings they had. So I think this is constant reminders of showing where are people placing their actual care and value, and saying, yes, I value what this person says. I care about what this person says. Like, these kids out here probably never heard of LeBron James. They have their people they look up to. Why would this kid need to look up to what LeBron James has to say over, like, his father, over somebody in this country? Why do you personally look up to what LeBron James does or says over your parents, over people closer to your family, over yourself, over your ability to go out and research? So, in general, this is another thing. This might go against what most people think, but I'm glad LeBron James and the athletes are saying this. I'm glad people are taking a knee, because this is going to make people really think back and say, are we really doing the right thing supporting these people? Do these people really know what they're talking about? Is it possible for somebody to be really amazing at one thing and just really garbage at something else? And also makes you realize that you personally might be a lot more capable. You might be a lot more capable of things than people who you think are a lot more capable than you. Realize, like, you're the LeBron James about your life. Be the LeBron James of your life. Be the best at your life as possible, and don't rely on LeBron James to tell you how to be the LeBron James about your life. Yeah, so thank you, LeBron, and that's Silas. Until next video, like, share, and subscribe. Goodbye.